Okay, so good morning, everyone. Today is February 15th. We're holding this meeting of the Massachusetts Gaming Commission virtually, so I'll conduct a roll call. Good morning, Commissioner O'Brien.
Good morning, I am here.
Good morning, Commissioner Hill.
Good morning, I'm here.
Good morning, Commissioner Skinner.
Good morning.
And good morning, Commissioner Maynard.
Good morning, Madam Chair. I am here.
All right, let's get started. Today is a agenda setting meeting, public meeting number 140, Wednesday, February 15th. And we've got some good meetings to turn to. First, turning to our next meeting next Thursday, Executive Director Wells, February 23rd.
Yep.
You'll have an administrative update.
Yep. So I have. Do we have any meeting minutes though? I've done a draft of the agenda based on Crystal's notes. Do we have meeting minutes that will be available?
My apologies. I skipped right over them.
No. You did it in order. I just have it in a different order on the thing. But yeah, we'll keep an administrative update.
But we did have minutes for today to approve. So
Okay.
Item number 2. Thank you for the reminder. Commissioner Hill, do you want to get started on those?
Yes, Madam Chair, I move that the commission approve the minutes from the February 1st, 2023 agenda setting meeting that are included in the commissioner's packet, subject to any necessary corrections for typographical errors or other non-material matters.
Commissioners, did you have those? Because I don't think I had them in the packet. Did everybody have?
Yeah, it was a separate email, I think.
Right. So is everyone okay with that? All right. As long as that's okay, we'll make sure that they're included in the packet for memorializing everything. So did I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or edits? Okay, Commissioner O'Brien.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Skinner.
Aye.
Commissioner Maynard.
Aye.
I vote yes, so 5-0. Thank you, and thanks for the good work on those. And now we'll turn to the 23rd, and Karen will be administrative update. I don't know if you have any details or commissioners, you want something precisely from Karen to address next week.
Nothing in particular.
Okay, and then we'll have minutes and particular regulations.
Can I just ask, do we know, I'm just doing the draft of the agenda. Do we know which meeting minutes would be available for the 23rd? Does anyone know?
Let me take a look and get back to you.
Okay.
I gotta see what's in the hopper.
Okay, if you could let me know, because
I will, definitely.
Okay.
This is excellent that Executive Director Wells is doing this. So now you'll know, Karen, that we sometimes don't know when the minutes are coming, but now the legal department will work with you to get them. Look at Judy smiling. So thank you so much.
They come fast and furious.
All right, I have a placeholder. We're good.
But the date is always useful, right, Judy? So thank you. All right, returning then to regs.
Would it be possible to circle back on this? I'm just conferring with Carrie on whether 205 CMR 255, which is play management, is actually on for the 23rd.
Okay. We'll swing back. Don't let me forget.
Thank you.
All righty. Then we're
Madam Chair, I just had a text exchange with Carrie regarding 255, and I do have some information on that. So there is some confusion about when that was planned to come up. Carrie was under the assumption it was in March. Now this is a regulation that came before the commission at the end of January, on January 20th, I want to say. We decided that it would be best to get some input from some of our operators and others interested in play management tools. We did have that meeting a couple weeks ago. We got some really, I think, important feedback. I've sent that draft regulation. I want to make sure that we get GLI feedback on that as well. So in my mind, it would be pushing it to have it out there on the 23rd, but not impossible. But if there is leeway, I think that it would probably benefit from a little extra time.
Great, Caitlin, if you and Carrie can coordinate when the best time is given Mark's input.
Absolutely, thank you.
Karen, just reviewing the minutes it's my recollection from reviewing the minutes that there was a discussion on February 1st that this regulation would come back before the commission in March, if that helps.
No,
But I haven't been privy to any discussion since then.
we're okay. We'll just, it obviously got on inadvertently, and so now we'll just coordinate when the right date is, and so we'll continue. Are there any other regulations?
There is going to be one more regulation, but that will be discussed in conjunction with agenda item number 5, marketing affiliates. So that's 205 CMR, I believe it's 234. Yep, sports wagering vendors. That should be it for the 23rd.
So Caitlin, would that, because I've got that 2 separate agenda items, the marketing affiliates and the reg, should the reg go under the discussion of marketing affiliates?
I think that's right. Yep.
Okay, so it would be a market affiliates discussion as the agenda item, and then the reg would be the next agenda. Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. As to item number 5, Director Lilly, oh no, sorry. Let's look at marketing affiliates given the reg connection. Director Lillian Sobrada, are you going to be all set with that?
Yes, we've been working with Caitlin and her team in A&K. So this is all one topic, and we've got to be ready on the 23rd. We will be ready on the 23rd.
Okay, so we'll connect those two. Now we have sports wagering implementation, Karen and Director Band.
So I have for sports wagering, the finalization of temporary licensing process for category 3 operators. So the ones that are prepared to go live on the date of March 10th, they will have submitted their $1 million fee, their cover sheet indicating the request for the temporary license, and then you'll have my documentation identifying them as a qualified gaming entity.
And then do we have to have a vote for that, approving it, Karen?
Yes.
I thought, yeah. Okay, so we reserve a vote on both the regs and the sports wagering implementation. Is there something else for you or Bruce?
I don't think so. Bruce, can you think of anything?
Well,
Bruce,
had to unmute myself again. No, I won't have anything additional than what Karen has at that point.
well, we'll just wait and see, right, Bruce? We've got a whole good week in a day or so.
A
So
lot happens in a week around here, believe me.
that's right. Okay, thank you. All right, then I think that looks like what we have. That's all sports wagering related, correct? So we'll turn to Dr. Lightbound. It's so nice to see you in person. Briefly, Dr. Lightbound, how are you, Alex?
Good to see you guys too. So we'll be ready for the 2 racing items, the local aid payments and the recovery of the unclaimed tickets, and they both require a vote from the commission.
Okay. And I know that you'll have, as you always do, we'll have a memo for us well in advance. So thank you, Alex.
Yeah, we'll have that out today.
And Alex, should that be you or Chad that's listed to handle those?
Chad will actually present those, so they can put Chad down for those.
Okay.
We'll have the lead be Alex, though, and then
Okay.
Chad, please.
Yep.
And just so everyone knows, Karen is stepping in so kindly, doing this as Crystal transitions to her new role. But I wanted to let everyone know that if you have any items that you know, that any of your work matters that come up where you need to have commissioner input, if you could just direct those inquiries to me and CC Karen and Judy, and I'll work to see if we can add them to, any anticipated agenda as we look to fill Crystal's position. So with respect to materials, because Alex is probably thinking, who do I send those materials to? Trudy is going to be able to receive those and ultimately put them into the PDF packet. And Trudy, you'll see, today the minutes, and we'll make sure all the packet is available. And Karen won't have that on her list, but today it's actually really helpful for Karen to do this exercise a couple of times because she realizes the details that go into this process. I know she's always appreciated them. So send, and you can CC Karen and me on materials that go to Trudy. And then to the extent, Trudy, you can distribute them in advance to the commissioners and then ultimately put them in a single bucket so that they're readily available for the commissioners. Otherwise, we can't remember who sent us, so we have to search our email boxes. So, are you all set, Trudy?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. All right. Karen, does that sound good?
Yep.
Then your boss isn't inundated any more than mine. All righty. So we've got those two racing matters. Returning then to an exemption request. I almost forgot that. Dave, is he there? Dave McKay?
I think, or Carolyn,
Is Carolyn or, well, they
Carol.
Loretta could cover for him, right? Loretta, no problem.
yeah, Loretta, would this be Kara or would this be Dave that would handle this in the public?
I apologize. My attention was, I was multitasking. Actually, I was single tasking because apparently I wasn't listening at all. I'm sorry.
I can't believe that.
I know, I've really,
That's what really
let my
goes.
true self be
I mean,
known.
commissioners, let's all pause and recognize. Loretta wasn't listening to every word that we were saying.
You know, I love the candor, Loretta, as always.
I wasn't listening to every word we were saying either.
Okay, now that's a bigger admission than mine.
It is usually held, the last few have been done by David. So I think that's up to you, Loretta, but that was who sent this over and that's who's been
So
presenting.
this is for the
exemption
zero
request,
employee
yeah.
exemptions. Dave will handle that under Kara's supervision.
Got it.
And I do already have those documents.
I guess I'll come back.
But
I'll come back into the meeting. Loretta, so we're all set on the exemption.
All set. Dave McKay will handle it, and Crystal has the docs already, which shows you that I may be distracted, but the team is really on point.
Loretta, because you were just slightly distracted, we want those all documents to now go to Trudy's attention.
Yes, I did get that.
Karen and me copy. Okay, thank you so much. And I just muted myself and went out so that I too could just be in the dark for a minute. That's my dream, to be able to not pay attention 100% here. Next, we're turning then to GameSense update, my favorite report.
Good, mine too. Yeah, we will be set for the 23rd. I told our GameSense team about 30 minutes or so. Is that right?
Yeah, and it's nice. It's a good time. I think it keeps everything nice and fresh and pertinent and you know, to the extent they ever need something more, just come to us. But right now, let's plan on a half an hour. Do you know who's leading?
I don't have that information.
That's all right. All right. Thank you. And then Crystal Bushman, annual report.
Oh, see, now I was on the wrong screen.
So, Crystal.
No, I have distributed the final draft, but the most recent version. I actually do have a copy. I'll run back around today with the new photos because those were the only issues we had in last. So any updates or anything you have, we can put on this and see if we can make it final. If you guys are ready, if you think it'll be ready by the 23rd to review it.
You can get a new picture if you'd like. I'm waiting for my hair appointment. Mills?
I think Mills has some headshot, glamour shots planned for you guys. So
if anybody's interested, I think I'm probably the only one who needs it. So everybody else's pictures are nice. All right.
I think the commissioners who weren't on last year, what we've done in the past is just you review it ahead of time and then we come onto the meeting and take a vote that it's ready to go. Is that how you still want to do that this year?
So do you want that for the 28th?
Whenever I'm
first.
ready, you guys are, because the only difference we'll have is if we have photos to put in, but we could always say it's good as. However, the 28th, I know you have a very short meeting, but this is a very short item, so whatever you.
Let's include it on the 28th then, right? Commissioners, you'll have a chance to look through the draft and get edits back to Crystal. Does that work, commissioners?
That works for me.
Yeah.
So we're moving this to the 28th?
Yep, we'll move on for our vote, Karen.
But is it still going to be on for review on the 23rd? And then a
No,
vote?
you won't need it on twice.
Okay.
Oh, so can we take the vote on the 23rd rather than the 28th, is what you're saying?
No, I'm saying, are you, should I take it off the agenda for the 23rd in its entirety?
Right, I'm just asking Crystal.
Yeah,
Did
I
I
think
make
it's
a
both.
mistake? Would you want the 23rd or the 28th? Which is better?
I'm ready. I just want to give you guys enough time to review it. So
Yeah, so
I'm really kind of throwing it at you and how you feel about everything you guys have. If you want to do it on the 28th.
Let's take it
Yeah,
off the 23rd and put it on the 28th.
I'm out the better part of next week because of school vacation week, so.
Okay.
That will be a nice thing for all of us to be able to give input on. All right, great, thank you. With that in mind, are you okay, Commissioner O'Brien, as to the meeting for the 23rd? Because I know that's when you plan on not being in unless you join for some segment. Is that? You're on mute. You're on mute.
I can show you
The only thing is the conversation about the marketing affiliates. That would be the only thing really that I would really want to be involved in. Other than that, there's, if I can't be here for the meeting, I can't be here for the meeting, but.
Is the 28th a possibility for that discussion in that reg, or does that throw off our?
So
go ahead.
Sorry, the marketing affiliate reg, it does not need to come back on the 23rd. It's already fully in effect. So there could be a discussion, or it could be moved to another date. Just technically, I'd obviously want Loretta's input on timing on that. I will just say that the regs on for the 28th and the 1st are very, very long. And the meetings are short, and we do need to get through them or else they lapse. So I'm just hesitant to put other substantive reg discussions on the 28th or the 1st.
Why is the 28th meeting short? Just because
the
of
28th and the 1st were added in so that we could accomplish the timing on these regs. So we only had time to squeeze in between meetings for commissioners.
So we should set up those agenda to be rolling. Crystal and Karen, if you could explain that when we're developing that. If I could have the examples ready of what we did with the applications, we'll make those rolling.
We just did a couple ago too, I think.
That does, so. And Commissioner O'Brien, you're definitely out on that Thursday.
It's not a definite, it's probably 50-50 at this point, whether I can hop on. I mean, if there's no vote that day, I can always pull up the meeting for that section. And then when it comes back up for a vote, circle back to raise any concerns, but.
Well, we could do that. And then if you'd like, and add commissioner update for your input on the 28th. Like if you heard something or saw something that you want to embellish on, or if you're in agreement on, we could give you your opportunity to weigh in and react on the 28th, and then we're voting later in the month of March, right? So
there is an operational issue with the marketing reg now, because all of those companies are looking to become operational now. There is as Caitlin explained, there is an existing reg in effect, but you have suspended a portion of it with respect to the marketing affiliates already. The reg as it stands presumes a licensure of marketing affiliates. You have suspended that and allowed registration of marketing affiliates. And we have been proceeding in that manner.
Okay.
If you wanted to continue allowing, don't want to disturb the suspension of the licensure requirements, we could continue to require that, looking towards having that in place, for the launch and the period immediately after the launch. But if there's going to be some different requirement, those companies are, there are a lot of them and they need to know.
Yeah, our meetings that Bruce and I have with licensees, they bring this up weekly.
Okay. Commissioner O'Brien, any way you can help me out here? Do you want to meet with Loretta and team and give your input in advance? It sounds as though we're pressed against some timelines here. And there's a chance maybe you can jump in.
Yeah.
Rather than disrupt the whole timeframe, because
Well, and as long as there's no vote that day, so that if I can't jump on, I can sort of give my input whenever it comes up for the vote.
It sounds as though there's a need for a vote, correct?
Well, couldn't the vote be on the 28th though? I mean, you're only talking about 4 days, like 2 business days or 3 business days apart.
If you're moving to a licensure requirement, that would be a very big lift for the companies and for our team, as well as that they're, looking to be operational even before the launch date, right? These marketing affiliates. So, again,
so I guess my question though is really the difference between that decision on the 23rd versus the 28th. It sounds like it's a lift, whether it happens on the 23rd or the 28th.
Agreed. It is.
So I guess that's my point is, if we're moving in that direction, I don't know if 2 business days is going to make or break what's already a heavy lift.
I think, is it because they need direction, Loretta? Are they looking for a directive from us? And then they have to do something?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, we are operating under, you've suspended the licensing requirement of the reg. So we are having them all register. So that's a big process. It's a big process for our licensing division. If they have to be licensed, there's scoping, there's a collection of, applications and attestations. So they, yes, they are looking for direction.
Yes, so Loretta, so what you're saying is, should we adopt a more restrictive procedure, things would radically change for them.
Correct.
So Commissioner
Could it
O'Brien,
be done with a date, with a launch date where we're rolling? Because I don't see how that happens, even on the 23rd, if we change course. That's a really heavy lift between now and the 10th. So what I would be anticipating is, even if we're going to do that, the suspension would probably need to carry over for some period of time to allow the scoping to happen and IB to get that in.
Knowing we had that, that the commission's open to that sort of flexibility would be helpful.
Commissioner O'Brien, my point is that I think they're looking for a directive one way or another. Would it be possible?
No, I
for you to
understand
make
that. I'm just saying, even if I'm on the meeting on the 23rd for a vote, it sounds to me like something that suspension is going to have to carry over for some period of time before it turns into licensing. I just don't see how it's going to work any other way anyway.
Well, may well not turn into licensing anyway, I understand. I'm fine if that works for you to, Loretta, to have the discussion in the reg. Does that work for the reg, Caitlin, if we don't have a vote? And then we roll it over for a vote with the understanding that this has to be a restricted conversation on the 28th. It's not going to be rehashing because we have a lot of other work to do. If that works for the team, I'm good with that. Does that work for all the commissioners?
Yeah, and if you mark it up for the 23rd, that way if I'm here, this becomes moot, right?
I think that's exactly right. So we'll reserve a vote. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then, and to the extent that you want to give input to Director Lilios or any of your thoughts on it, it might be helpful for you to meet in advance. Okay. Excellent. All right, thank you. All right, then let's turn to, I'm sorry, question? All right, then we're going to turn to February 28th. We've got administrative update, meetings, minutes, and we have regulations that will begin on the 28th and roll over to, I guess, March 1st is the next day. 28th is my oldest son's birthday. And then it rolls right into March 1st, which is always hard to believe. We'll roll into that. Are those lists still accurate, Caitlin, on our notes?
Yes, the list is accurate, but I would just note that let's just for now at least add in the vendor reg, so that we have it.
Yeah, we'll add in
On
the
both.
vendor. We'll just roll over those two items, the discussion and the reg.
You want the discussion on the 28th as well, or just the?
Quite frankly, no, really, no.
Not
Just
the
the-
discussion, just the vote, because there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, the discussion, Commissioner Brown will be able to review it, so that's good.
Okay.
Thank
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
on the 28th, the temporary prohibition from sports wagering 254. Caitlin, you and I haven't spoken about this, but I think that the intention was for the commission to host a roundtable or a small discussion before we would take any further action on that. And so I would recommend that we push that until after that roundtable and get
I don't think we can do that. Well, this
Un-
has to be adopted, right?
Unfortunately, we have to vote on it on that date, or else it will lapse completely.
Right.
So if there's any other remedial
Well,
steps that need to be taken, that can be done separately, I think.
We could continue the waiver, right, that we put in place.
Correct.
Okay.
So
All right.
if you could be prepped for that, Caitlin, we have that waiver language from the last time. I assume that we just continue and then we'll go ahead with the roundtable. That will inform a change to the ultimate regulation. Anything else on regulations?
Not for those meetings, thank you.
Commissioners, is the 28th, and that's also going to be a busy meeting apparently. I'm thinking we should probably roll over the executive director's compensation issue to the 9th when we don't have all of those sports wagering regulations. That will allow us to do our job. If anybody has questions on process about the compensation determination and how we do it, please just ask me or coordinate with Troop D. We fill out our own evaluations. Karen sees that individually. We don't share those. And then there's an opportunity for Karen to meet with us individually, and then we collectively come together to discuss Karen in the public before all kinds of individuals and stakeholders and all the team members. I'm trying to get a reaction from her.
This is usually where you turn your camera off, right, Karen?
Oh my God, I'm all set. I can't.
And then we set compensation as a group together. Another matter that must be taken up publicly by the court. So let's roll that one over to March 9th. Okay. Anything else though for the 28th or 1st that must be addressed? Okay. Then let's go to March 9th. And there we have, again, administrative update. Commissioners, if there's ever anything that you want in particular, you can speak with me and Karen, and we'll make sure that that gets addressed. Just Karen needs time with the team. Regulations, none listed there, Caitlin or Todd.
At this point, we don't have any to put on, but we will obviously circle back if we'd like to ask that anything be added to that agenda.
Including non-sports wagering. All right. Then we have a racing as we approach first day of racing, which is hard to believe. What do we have, Alex? And this is the escrow. Will you be ready for that, Todd and Alex?
We're certainly aiming to be ready for that date, and that's the plan at the moment. So we can keep that date on and update you as we get closer.
Okay, and that will require some kind of a memorandum in advance for the commissioners to digest. I think it will be quite complex, I'm guessing. Even if it's a short memo, it's just a little bit complicated. Then we turn to the research agenda, and that will be maybe a, bless you, Commissioner Maynard. We share them all.
Thank you.
Will that be ahead of, that might be ahead of the GPAC meeting. Is that okay, Mark?
Actually, I would prefer that it is ahead of the GPAC. I see this as a two-phase with the commission. I'd like to advance a draft of it, get your thoughts, go to GPAC, get thoughts before it comes back to the commission for what would be, I think, a final review approval.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So, and then we'll have Karen's compensation and review. Anything else for the 9th?
So the 9th, Madam Chair, we would need to do the operations certificates for the launch on the 10th. So the operators that are actually ready to launch on the 10th, we would have that before the commission. The expectation is GLI will have done their analyses of their internal controls and their geofencing, et cetera. And we would be able to come before the commission on the 9th so that they could operate on the 10th.
Exciting. So Karen, in terms of how we will be prepared to sign off on that, will there be, I'm imagining some kind of a chart that there's a check off that Director Band and finds that and GLI finds that everything is met. Is that what you're imagining?
Yeah, we can work off, we had a sort of a template which we used for the launch of the retail operations. We can tweak that and modify that for the operations for the global and global companies.
If for some reason there's an issue by that date, that just means that not everyone, but that operator would just not be able to launch on the 10th. Okay. Questions for Karen on that? So the 9th is a Wednesday, right?
The 9th is a Thursday.
Thursday.
10th is a Friday.
10th is a Friday, thanks.
Yep.
And then we have that one day, Monday, before.
Right. If there's any last minute things that need to be done in front of the commission before the start of the March Madness tournament, we have the Monday, the 13th.
Yes. Questions for Karen on that? All right. So we will add virtual training piece. Yes, Commissioner Skinner?
Monday the 13th for a meeting, Karen?
I think it's just, I would not expect that we would need a meeting. It's just that if there's something comes up and we need the commissioners to address some certain issue that we are made aware of, we have that date before the tournament starts.
Yeah, there probably should be a hold placed on the calendar because there's not one right now, at least for me.
Okay.
No, I was going to ask Trudy to do that afterwards. Thank you. Yeah.
This can be where,
pardon me?
Madam Chair, this can be where I can annoyingly say to Karen again, the selection Sunday is the 12th. So I'm really hoping.
We'll see.
So, yeah, I'm thinking that that's our buffer date. And of course, we don't expect to have to use that meeting, but let's just save time on the hold Judy on that for that. Then Our next meeting that's scheduled isn't until from the 9th until the 23rd, getting back to a bi-weekly cadence. In between, we'll have our agenda setting meeting. Right now, we have bear with me. Right now, we just have the administrative update, the minutes and the regs.
Chair, I might just note that this will be a very, very reg heavy day. We have 10 regs coming back for final approval, which is, I think, perhaps the most you've seen on one day. So I would expect a lot of time on regs.
Could you advance that if you know the reg numbers, just so we can start putting it into the agenda setting notes?
Absolutely.
Please?
I can send that to Karen. Yep.
And then that will also make sure that we, Trudy, make sure that our meeting is scheduled for the full day, so that commissioners know not to book anything in the afternoon until we get done. Caitlin, thank you for that.
It's going to be a fun one.
Oh, Madam Chair, something that's not on this list, I'm just realizing, we were going to, on the 23rd, discuss the scheduling for the Massasoit or Raynham Park Category 2 application. We should put that on the agenda for the 28th.
Yeah, so we're just about.
I'm sorry, the 23rd.
Yeah, we're just about to look at under review matters. So the 23rd is a Thursday for regs. We will need, before we turn to under review, is there anything else for the 23rd? That's going to be a reg day, guys. Anything that the team absolutely needs. Oh, there we go, Dr. Lightbound.
I know that this day looks like it's getting pretty busy, but Plainridge opens on April 10th, and they'll have qualifiers, weather permitting, on April 3rd. So they were looking to do the approval of their racing officials and key personnel. And they usually have one or two other, brief items for opening that they need votes on.
Let's put that at the beginning of the day, and then we'll go all in on regs.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else that's really time sensitive for that day? We can always meet another day. So, all right. Oh, Karen, I thought you were raising your hand.
No.
Okay, so now category 2, the sports wagering application, we would need a full, a good full day to review the application, and of course all the interested parties.
I think, Madam Chair, I think the way we left it was there would be a status date on the 23rd. So on the 23rd, you would make a decision about what day you wanted to do the review of the application.
Okay.
So I can add that under sports wagering.
Thanks. And then but we should, Trudy, just start to look in the calendar for a full day that the commissioners would be available to do the application. I can work with you on that, Trudy. Okay, let's just start to pick a couple of favorites so we can offer them up on the 23rd. Okay, and I suppose too, Karen will know if there's anything outstanding that needs to be done in advance on the 23rd. So thank you for that reminder. Okay, then category 3 mobile launch operations, we've taken care of that. ILA review process.
Still under review.
Okay, the racing ADW regs, I'm imagining that's probably still under review.
It's still under review, given what we have through March. Basically, probably by early March, I'll have a date for April to bring that back.
Okay, I see that we've added a question that came up while we were on launch day, whether horse racing would be an event on the sportsbooks catalog. There's a whole discussion around that they're different in nature, being parent mutual, and I know in Las Vegas and other casinos, they keep a racing book and then I keep a sports book, Bruce, but this issue did come up. So that's something that perhaps Karen, sports wagering division can take a look at and see, and working with Alex and see, is that something that is prohibited altogether, or is it something that's not prohibited? And if not prohibited, is it something we would desire? Does that make sense?
Yep. And Alex and I were just talking about it this morning,
I
so.
about it this morning, because we have some of our ADW companies are also sports betting companies.
Right.
As well.
Sunday.
And casinos have the ADWs.
Yeah, so we'll have, and what that would take. So I'm not sure if we're ready to put it on for the agenda item now, but I'm not saying that it has to be late in our meetings. And if we need to even hold a special meeting on it, if it needs to be for timeliness, we can do that. But it's just a topic that's obviously on top of mind for some folks. So but we need to get some work done on it. So thanks, Alex. And you'll work with Bruce and team, right?
Exactly. Yep. I sent Bruce an email the other day about it.
Bruce is going, this job.
About a month ago, I sent something to Todd and Brad about it as well. So yeah, it's definitely out there.
Well, and I was stopped. Crystal happened to be with me on the I think it was at MGM, right, Crystal? And I got to say my line that I like to offer, that folks have been able to bet on sports, at least horse racing, from their couches for a long, long time using AW. So, there's experience there. All right. Then we're moving on to the compliance committee. Michelle, Brian, are you keeping that under review for now?
Yeah, I think both 32 and 33 probably would be coming up in April. It's under review for now.
Okay. I think that's right. Timely for April. Then budget implications for studies. Haven't we addressed
Can we
them?
address that? Yeah, I was just thinking we could take that off.
Yeah. And then we have our office lease, and even though we sort of gained a year, that year is starting to dwindle. So we might visit that at a certain point.
Yeah, I was just speaking to Mary Ann about that the other day, especially since we're making new hires and expanding the agency for sports wagering. We're looking at the space and what we need. So that's in process. Keep it under review.
Okay, great. Anything else for under review?
The IEB.
Okay, Director Lilios. Loretta, good morning again.
The IEB has the MGM Springfield Vici REIT transaction under review. I expect that will come in an adjudicatory hearing in April.
Okay.
How do you spell Vici, Loretta?
VICI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble hearing two people speak, but the adjudicatory hearings we can include in our agenda, but those are usually scheduled separately. A reminder that we will be, of course, looking to mark up the two that were discussed yesterday. So we'll need to work with Trudy on those dates, please, Todd. And I think, of course, you'll be coordinating with IEB. So on the MGM REIT, we also did not discuss, but it got brought up yesterday, the other non-compliance issue. That probably needs to be addressed, Karen, by IEB sooner than later. I'm not sure if we'd be ready for that, to have a written report, maybe for the 28th. That's a good date.
Sorry, I didn't hear the date.
The 28th of February. I'm looking at IEB. When do you expect the report on?
Oh, that's a quick turnaround. Certainly be ready by the 28th. We can do that.
28th, a good date for that.
Are you looking at February 28th or March?
Yeah, February 28th.
Isn't the,
or is that one of, that's one of the,
that's one of the dates you have a streamlined meeting because there wasn't a lot of mobility. So I think Trudy might have the calendar in front of her on whether that's changed or not, but I'm not sure you have the time.
would it be ready for next Thursday, Loretta, or no?
Yeah, I think you'll have the report in the next day or so.
So the 23rd, we could include that, Kim, right?
Yep. Okay, so that would be MGM non-compliance issue regarding events catalog.
Yeah, Commissioner, you're fine with that, adding it for next Thursday. It's so close to our discussion from yesterday that we're pretty well educated on at least how we're approaching these matters initially. Okay, anything else? I think I saw another hand, Joe Delaney.
Yep, so the Encore East of Broadway, I'd like to put that on as just in the under review. We need to figure out, we need to hold a public hearing. We have to have a public meeting. I'm reviewing the regs right now to see what kind of things we might run up against on all of this and trying to coordinate with Encore and so on, but I just don't want to lose sight of that.
We'll put it under review. Up there's Mark.
Hello. Madam Chair, before we get to Mark, I have a quick question for Joe on the East Broadway. So when we put that under review, are we looking at a March, April type of discussion? And the reason I'm asking that is I'm trying to set up a couple of tours before we have that discussion, and I just want to make sure I have the tour before we do.
Yeah, of course, right the day after we made our last decision, I got an email from Encore saying, hey, when do we move next? So obviously they want to move as quickly as possible, but I think sometime maybe in the March timeframe, March to April. I'm going to check with Jackie and see what their schedule is with, filing their environmental impact report. There are other things that need to happen on this, obviously, before construction starts. So I think we have some time to deal with that.
And I think it can be that other commissioners could join those tours if Brad is setting them up with Burke and company, if you want to see the lay of the land. Right, Commissioner?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. And sorry, Mark, for interrupting you.
That's okay.
I'm going to now turn over the meeting to Commissioner O'Brien, who I there you are, you shifted on me. And I excuse myself. Thank you, and thank you everyone for your attention today. If I leave, am I going to knock this meeting? If I do leave my computer.
No, David is the host right now, so you'll be over.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so
All right.
we have.
There's not a lot more.
One second.
No, go ahead.
Commissioner O'Brien, because if I make you co-host, you will show up a little bit more. Oh wait, Dave, sorry, I am now not the host, so you need to make Commissioner O'Brien. It's Dave. One second. Sorry, Commissioner O'Brien. You can go ahead if you want. In the meantime, we'll try to work out.
Okay.
I think actually,
Sorry, Mark, I think
I believe I can spotlight you. So let me give that a try. That might be it. Have to find you in my little screen there. Okay, let me spotlight. Okay.
Should I
That
go
should
ahead
be-
and
I didn't need that. All right,
all right.
Mark.
Okay, here we go. We have a few research studies that are making their way through the review process with our research review committee, and I'd like to just get those added to the agenda. The first is the Encore Boston Harbor Public Safety Report, so covering a period of COVID and to current. So we want to make sure that that gets added.
And that's just under review, Mark?
It is, yes, under review.
Yep.
Then we also have the Encore patron and license plate survey report. And then finally, we have a community-driven research project for the Springfield area.
The Springfield what? Spring community driven.
Call it Springfield Community-Driven Research Project.
Right. Got it.
All right.
Okay.
So I have one thing actually to add to under review, but before I say that, is anybody else got anything to add to under review? No? So the only other thing I did want to put on under review is circling back yet again to look at the horse racing application and looking at whether we want to be more specific with the timing of the municipal approval. So Krista, I know you said you had that on a list.
I do. I have it under my notes here. Yes, I have the, to revisit the racing reg, prior to application for license. So we're just putting that under review right now, but I think,
Yeah.
what is it? So the timing of that, we want to make sure we kind of have a note on timeframe legal. It's escaping my memory now, and I'm not sure why, but when is that due?
I think it's September 30th or October 1st. Is that it?
I was thinking it was
October.
October.
It's October 1st, but I agree. This is something that is on our list and on top of our minds. You know, I think in addition to that issue, there's potentially a few other issues related to the application that we'd want to bring before the commission at the same time. So, you know,
A more
maybe
general.
maybe sometime in April. Todd, if that sounds reasonable.
Or May.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Okay. That was it. Crystal, I know you've got a list. Is there anything else on that that should be added to under review?
Yeah. Let me pick this one. I do have something. Is Dr. Lightbound still on? Is the racing stabilization fund something I need to add? No. I think I write notes from other people. So, and we have, no, we took care of the waiver request there. I think
Alex, was the stabilization
the
fund?
other item was the beachy leak. So those are the notes that I have.
Right.
We're looking at the stabilization fund. That doesn't need to go on the agenda.
Doesn't need to be? Okay.
Go on, yeah. There's some more work to do on that.
Okay.
And
All right.
that's, yeah.
That's your list? Okay. That was all I had on mine too. So,
And the regulation, I think this is tied to it. I have 205 CMR 2.01. That is the reg that we would want to revisit, right, Todd? Or is that that is due to additional, the application for licensure, correct?
That sounds right.
Okay.
Judy
The only
is-
other note I have, but it's right next to it, so.
Yeah, I think
That is correct.
that is where we put it. Yes, okay.
Okay, all right. I'm not as good at the regulations as all of you, but
okay.
that's very soon. Okay, so I have that on there under review now. And I will share this with you, Karen and Trudy and Kathy.
I think we're good.
Okay. So if that's it for under review, if any commissioner has an update, you can have the floor. But okay, not seeing anything. I think we're ready to adjourn then.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All right. Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Skinner,
Aye.
Commissioner Maynard,
Aye.
and I am aye, so 4-0. Thank you.